Hey everybody and welcome to a new One Piece video. It's been a while since I've made a breakdown video, and honestly I regret not making one for 1149 because it was superb. Also 1146 because it had some incredible sequences as well. But now we're back. One of the most anticipated episodes in the arc, to the people who understand the story of course. And oh boy, this episode was insanely stacked. I'm very impressed by Hyun Yeri in Eke Part 2. She delivered now 3 great episodes. Her speed and quality is amazing and her potential remains big. But the surprising name here is none other than Aya Komaki. She is back home. She storyboarded the first half since Yeri said she did the second half. Komaki was one of the original 3 series directors at the beginning of Wano, and she has been involved with One Piece for very long, so it's always gonna be her home. I was curious what she will do after directing Dragon Ball Daima. She also was heavily involved with Film Red. I think Yeri working with Komaki will also boost her experience because Komaki mentored incredible talents before, like Ryosuke Tanaka for example, before he got popular. So now Yeri has worked with names such as Yasunari Koyama, Satoshi Ito, Ryota Nakamura, and now Aya Komaki. She is a name we have to remember heading towards Elbaf. I've spoken in detail about her, so I'm not gonna do the same here again. You can check out my old videos. And one of this episode's biggest strengths is Zigwan Liu as one of the animation directors, another Mori student. He has a similar path as Kashiwaguma, who I made a video about recently, since he worked under Mori with Kashiwaguma on Sanji vs Calamities and Killer vs Hawkins. And while Kashiwaguma's designs are softer and more loose, Liu has incredible balance that reminds me of early Mori on One Piece. And considering he delivered some of Bonney's best moments in the arc, he was a name I speculated to be involved here. He also was an assistant animation director on Fan Letter. This isn't Liu's first episode as animation director. He was one of the animation directors on 1141, which was also directed by Hyun Yeri. But sadly, some of his incredible drawings there were corrected by the chief animation director. But take a moment and think how powerful the anime is getting now on the animation supervision. We have Kashiwaguma, Saito, Liu, Yoshida. The Mori school in One Piece is getting insane now. And this might be one of the biggest wins for the Elbaf arc. So now that we briefly talked about some of the staff's history, let's break down the episode. I've mentioned before how one of Yeri's most important skills as a director is her vibrant direction and tone. Like I've criticized some Egghead episodes for looking too dry, but this episode was just so vibrant and full of life. Kaku and Stussie's dialogue had nice grim colors. Bonney's transformation looked bright and heavenly. The battlefield looked intense with fire surrounding it. Some shots straight up looked like the opening. Komaki's storyboard was effective, nothing crazy. We get some classic traits like her colorful cards for the characters or comedic moments. The drums wave and the fire forming a terrifying Luffy face was a cool way to bring back the form. The silhouettes of Kuma and Bonney were also cool and very Koyama-like. The transformation itself was great and the OST choices were good as well. I think I like the parts of Luffy and Bonney floating together more than the transformation itself. The second half had some pacing problems, but honestly the sheer animation power is what mostly carries this episode, especially with the freedom given to the animators. For the animation, I'll start with my favorite sequences on the episode. Kaito Tomioka animated Bonney's transformation. Tomioka has joined Wit Studio a while ago, but he still gets freedom to work outside, just like Shu Sugita and most under producer Yamanaka. This isn't the first time he works on Toei's One Piece, as he did the Luffy vs Lucci clash in 1100. Just like that specific sequence there, you can see how much fun he has with the rubber powers. Extreme exaggeration, and you can see the character's facial features floating on their own. His mirrors are very damn satisfying as well. Tomioka said he loved this moment in the manga, so he wanted to do it, and he's a big One Piece fan, so I think we will for sure see him on the Wit Studios One Piece. The duo from 1146 returns, Anthony and Mehdi. They did the Red Rock last time, but here Mehdi did some character acting which was wonderful, while Anthony went wild on some of the best action sequences on the episode. Absolute madness here. The camera work is just magnificent. Also, he brought back the rainbow and gave the punch similar scale to his past work. The slow rotation at the end is phenomenal. Even the sound effect for the punch was oddly satisfying. Also interesting how he took some inspiration from Akihiro Ota's sequence here at the beginning. It felt like a combination of Ota transitioning to a Vincent Chancellor in one sequence. Another big highlight was one of the Ibrahim brothers who did the 20th Century Boys fan animation and amazing cuts on the latest opening. I thought this was Vincent at first, but there's a clear inspiration here. The impact frames are very damn cool, and you gradually see how more demonic it gets as you get to Inu's own eye. His art on Mars is one of the best takes on the design in my opinion. For the combo attack, Yu Yoshiyama handled most of it, and oh my god, it's so damn perfect. The poses, the art style on Nika Bonney, some Canada school at its finest here. I think Yoshiyama drew the best Bonney in the whole episode in my opinion. Considering her involvement with the Precure series, such designs are perfect for her. French animator Dorian Coulon returns after a long time. I believe he last worked on the show in 1062 in King's Flashback. The Jupiter eye cut was pretty damn cool here. After handling 3 full minutes last episode, Naoto Shishida returns to animate more than one Gorosei, because why not? And honestly, it might be some of his more refined work recently, perhaps because it's a slower type scene, which I prefer more for Shida. But pairing Shida with his follower is a genius move, because this transitions to none other than Sora Kawamitsu, who stole the spotlight here. Kawamitsu also did some of the best cuts on 1144 with Nasjuro. With all respect to Shida, Kawamitsu is basically prime Shida here, and he doesn't restrict his work into a single zone because he keeps experimenting. Not only his art was on another level here, he even made the punch so stylish, as people call it Hisashi Punch, which Hisashi Mori started in the 6th One Piece film, and later Naoki Tate used it for the iconic Celestial Dragon Punch. The ships, the sea, the creature design, the robot, not only moving in very impressive ways, but also extremely detailed, despite the complexity of these designs here. The direction is elite, so it boosted my love for the scene and made it my favorite of the episode individually. The impact on Mars was handled by an animator who appeared on the Kuma flashback. Incredible impact here and fun impact frame. There's of course ton more cool sequences that aren't credited yet, or too many for me to highlight, but overall this episode deserves to be called a climactic episode. The cherry on the top is Joy Boy's voice reveal. Hiring the first ever Luffy voice on him is a genius move. I got chills here. Overall, episode was amazing. Not perfect, but was a phenomenal experience. Next episode looks quite strong too. Seems the director is using the same filter Koyama used in the Kuma flashback, but on the Clover flashback. There's some good cut on the Jupiter and Emeth wrestling, and I think this preview is probably hiding a lot just like the last one did, but I assume Hizaiwi would be the animation director or one of the animation directors here. Thanks a lot for watching. Like and subscribe. See you next time.